Real people, real celebrities, real talk.
Join the Breakfast Club.
Blast off in your ear.
Weekday morning, 6 to 10.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ MV Angela Yee, Charlamagne the God. We are the Breakfast Club. Special guest in the building this morning.
That's right. It's the only Rose to ever play a full season in Chicago.
There you go, Jalen.
That is foul.
It's the truth, though. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. I
Welcome.
appreciate you guys having me on.
No, thanks for coming up.
I have to say something before we get started.
Okay.
Because I got love and respect for each of you. And I made a couple of notes.
Okay.
I like that.
It's all positive, by the way.
Okay.
Because we know.
This man, DJ Envy,
Yes,
from
sir.
Clue to Angie Marr to Miss Jones, and following your movement, much respect.
Thank you, sir.
This beautiful young lady, Angela Yee, from Cypher Sound, the morning after, and you could never get me on lip service. It was not going to happen. Not going to be able
You
to
can still do it now.
And this is the young lady that actually grabbed me in the headlock and made me get on Twitter in 2007.
Really?
I was going to
Wow.
avoid
Early.
I was going to avoid the social media thing totally.
We were the only ones on there at first.
Yes, indeed. And this gentleman from Wendy to
Yep.
Got Cold with Lil Duval.
Yep.
Right? Now you're doing your thing on Uncommon Sense.
Yes, sir.
From Sunday to Wednesday. Congratulations.
Well, it comes on Wednesday at 11.
Yes, indeed. You
Yes, sir.
winning.
Yes,
Prime
sir.
spot.
Yes,
so
sir.
congratulations. Big fans of each of you individually.
Okay.
And
Appreciate
I was
that.
surprised as everyone else. They gave y'all a radio show in 2010.
Right.
Right? Got syndicated in 2013. Now y'all in 50 places, including my hometown, Detroit.
There you
So,
go.
The
I'll be
D.
repping
Shout
on
out to the D. We were going to call ourselves the Fab Three at first. But then,
Nah,
Yeah, we almost there.
Breakfast Club is better.
Yeah, we decided to all come together and play together the way y'all did, you know, when y'all went to Michigan.
Yes, indeed. Sacrificing for the team.
There you go.
Now, I was reading your book. I love your book, by the way.
Thank you.
That's what you're here for.
Appreciate
One of the
that.
reasons. Got to give
We
the
talking
people,
about everything today, though.
Yeah.
Let's get it.
Got to give the people what they want. Now, what I liked about your book is basketball was definitely a big part of your life, but it wasn't your life. It seems like you were always focused on more than basketball.
Absolutely. It's what I do, what I did, not necessarily who I am. It's a part of my life. It was the part that got me a college scholarship. It's the part that helped me become a member of the Fab Five. It's a part that helped Jalen become a common name.
Right.
And there are a lot of kids named after Shaq and Denzel who I love, but they're all black.
Yeah.
Like Jalen's boys, girls, multicultural, so I take a lot of pride in
yeah,
that.
I saw that. So you were the real first person named Jalen? Because I know I have a lot of friends who have sons named Jalen and everything.
My mother made the name up.
She made it up. How did she make it up?
My biological father's name is James. Her brother, my Uncle Leonard, took
Uncle
her to the
Len.
hospital to give birth. Jalen, thus the name
Wow.
Jalen.
Now, I saw you say that in the book, and I was racking my brain trying to figure out, did I know any other Jalen's before Jalen Rose? And it's kind of like Nas, Kanye, Beyonce. You only know one of those.
Nah,
It was
I-
the most common name in the country when I was in college. That's why I got a game for you guys. When you watching college football this weekend, drink a shot every time you hear the word Jalen.
Okay.
You'll be drunk by noon.
Perfect.
Now, what inspired you to write this book?
It was time. You guys know you enter a different chapter in your life. You know, I retired from playing ball, full-fledged entertainment, business now, working for ABC, working for ESPN. And from age 15 to like 35, that period was just like a blur for me. Good, bad, and indifferent. Good decisions, bad decisions. And I just wanted to show growth and inspire so many people.
It seemed like at first you weren't even that into playing basketball. You know, from reading this book, it was like, you know, I'm okay at it. It's fun. Everybody's doing it. But it wasn't like your passion at
A
first.
6'6" black guy from Detroit was not into basketball?
I love basketball as much as I love breathing. Like basketball is everything for me. But I never wanted to be considered a dumb jock. So I always had other interests. I love music. You know, I love movies. I love art. And basketball was just the most notable thing. So, yes, I was an honor roll student in high school. Yes, I actually graduated from college, and I'm the founder of a charter high school right now in Detroit.
But you got into basketball because somebody showed you who your father was, Mr.
Correct.
Jimmy Walker.
Yes, indeed. I didn't know. You know, when you're really young and you grow up in Detroit, you lose your innocence early. You get exposed to sex, drugs, violence, you know, the streets. And then I fell in love with basketball through exactly what you just said. A gentleman named Sam Washington. I was goofing off in the gym, and he took me in the basement, had an old projector, and he put on film and footage of my father, Jimmy Walker, playing. And for those that don't know, he's the number 1 pick in the 1967 NBA draft.
Wow.
So he went ahead of Clyde Frazier. He went ahead of Earl DePearl. Like, he was that deal in college and was an all-star in the league. So when I saw him playing ball, it was twofold. It was one, wow, I have that in me. I could get up out of the hood playing basketball. And the other thing is, I'm going to make him know my name.
Yeah.
I'm a good kid. He ain't around. He ain't tried to reach out to me yet. What's going on? So his number was 24. And out of spite, I wore 42.
Oh.
So what did your people tell you why he wasn't around? Because he wasn't around. He was a Rolling Stone, from what I read
Yes,
in the book.
indeed.
He had 13 kids or something?
13 kids by 11 women.
Okay.
How many made
So
the
that's
league?
why he wasn't around.
Yeah.
Damn it, man.
So what they tell you? Like, what they say?
He just didn't come around. And when you grow up, like we all know, I never talked to my mom about it. Like, I never brought it up. I saw her struggling, working at Chrysler, raising 4 kids. I wasn't going to be the, hey, Mom, let's talk about my dad.
Right.
Like, I didn't say anything about it. And unfortunately, you don't miss something you never had.
You didn't hear her complaining, like, he in the NBA and can't send no money our way?
You know the thing I love about my mother? She never complained about him. She never complained about our circumstance. Like, I thought it was normal to boil water to wash up, share bath water with your brothers and sisters. Leave the stove on to heat up the house.
Right.
Like, I just thought that was normal because it wasn't just my house that was happening in.
Every house.
It was every house on the block.
What
Now,
about
did
your
you-
half brothers and half sisters? Did they ever try to reach out like, oh, that's my brother, Jalen Rose?
So my brother Bill, Kev, and my sister Tam, they have a different dad.
Right.
We were all raised by my mother. So their fathers also have other kids.
Sheesh, you run
And-
Detroit.
Right. And my dad has as many kids as anybody in the world.
Yeah.
So I decided when I was young, my brothers and sisters live with me.
The half brothers and sisters?
No,
Before
I'm
the
saying-
your mom.
The
That's the one you talked about
ones that
represented
grew
for.
up in my house.
Got you.
Right.
Those are my brothers and sisters.
Did you ever
Got you.
talk to your dad?
I did get a chance to talk to him. I'm glad you asked that. I
Over the
reached
phone, though.
over the phone.
Yeah.
I got a letter that he wrote around the time the Fab Five the Fab Five book was being written. By the way, I never read the Fab Five book
What?
because I boycotted it. I was upset that he actually was able to profit off of us while we were in school using a media pass, writing a book,
Oh, I want to get
getting
to that.
paid.
I want to talk about that.
And so I've never read the book. What's your question? I
Now,
forgot.
talk about your dad. You ever spoke to your dad?
Meeting him.
Oh, I did. So I called him on the phone. I carried the letter around that he wrote me in college that I got for the Final Four, and I carried it around for years. And one day I was at my friend Dale Davis's house. They was in there playing poker or whatnot, and I kept the letter with me. I was like, I'm gonna go in the bed. I'm about to call him right now. And so call the first number. He not here anymore. X, Y, and Z. Call him at this number. He not here anymore. X, Y, and Z. Boom. I finally got him. And the first thing I got on the phone and told him, I love you. I have no hard feelings. Like, my brothers and sisters are not tall. They're not athletic.
Right.
They can't walk and chew gum
Right.
with a basketball. Like, your seed helped give me motivation that took us out of the hood. So while you were not there, I still thank you for everything you did for me.
Thank you for your sperm.
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
What
Hey,
did
you
he
need
say?
a good donor.
Oh my gosh.
You gotta have a good donor.
Now, it's interesting.
Well, hold
though,
on. What did he say back?
At first, he was shocked. And I encouraged him to, I wanted to come and visit him. He apologized for not being there. I was like, I don't want this to be that call. Like, don't apologize for anything. Like, I'm happy. I'm blessed. We're winning. Cha-ching. I've been to the dentist. I've been to the dermatologist. I'm good. And so I just wanted him to know that, and he appreciated it.
But and when the book takes a turn, because when you actually finally wanted to go meet him, but the first time you met him,
Yeah, I wanted to go meet him, and I got delayed by working the NBA Finals, and unfortunately, he died.
so the
Yeah,
first time you
cancer,
met him
right?
was at the funeral.
So the first time I actually was in the same place as him was at his funeral.
Damn.
And it was really a cold, chilling funeral because regardless of someone's lifestyle or their age, you still have people that want to celebrate their life.
Right.
This gentleman played in the NBA. He was older. He had a lot of success, was an all-star. It was like 20 people at his funeral.
Wow.
Like, all of his kids was not at his funeral. And I'm like, I don't want this.
Yeah.
Like, it was really chilling, and it was an eye-opening experience for me.
How
Did
do
the
you
rest
turn
of his
out-
kids know him though? Because you didn't growing up. Did he acknowledge and was he in the lives of the rest of them?
I'm not sure. And Angela, when you got that many kids,
Right.
you can't say their names. I saw Antonio Carati, big shot with the Jets, trying to do that one time. Like, it's just tough to do.
It's like naming members of Wu-Tang when you're not really a Wu-Tang fan.
Exactly.
Yes.
Oh, you should be a fan of your kids.
How was it? I don't want to say like you always hear about in the black community. You don't have a father, kids don't turn out well. How did you turn out good without a father in the hood?
I was, I got lucky.
You had your uncles.
I was fortunate. I got a really good support group. I have a terrific grandmother that's 98, still has her motor skills, always looked at me as her angel, makes scrapbooks for me, still to this day. When she thought she heard my name on the news, she put in that VHS. She always blessed that I was going to be something special.
Oh.
Had a hardworking mom, great brothers and sister, my
You had that
uncles.
village.
And then I had the streets.
Right.
I grew up in the era, we all around the same, you 80, you in 70s babies.
Yeah.
Back then, when cats was hustling or in street life, it's like, you gonna get out of here. You don't want these problems. Like, go ahead. And now it's, free for all type of thing. So the streets also took care of me.
Right.
Now you always have some very strong opinions about the NCAA. You feel like the NCAA is basically robbing kids.
Oh yeah, it's indentured servitude.
Damn.
It truly is.
You know what's funny? My son said that the other day. My son was like, Dad, when I play college ball, do they pay me? I'm like,
Nope.
nah.
Not gonna be able to do it.
Nah, they ain't paying me.
Just think about it like this. I'm playing for a coach that's getting millions from the university, getting millions from a shoe company, gets money for appearances, money for TV, money for radio, okay, off our sweat equity.
Right.
Now, you go to college, you're actually being educated. You seeing the money being made. Y'all know when the contract come up, what y'all do.
Yeah.
Y'all go look at the ratings. Hey, we syndicating more places now.
up.
It's time to renegotiate.
Right.
And
Just went through that, by the way. But
and the fans, I appreciate that the fans and the media have gotten more sophisticated.
Right.
When I was in college, it was shut up. Be happy you on scholarship. You lucky you got that. There was a little jealousy with that also. But now people see, wow, it's a lot of money and millions and billions being made for a nonprofit organization. A lot of people don't know the NCAA is a nonprofit organization.
they only have to pay taxes, right?
Correct.
That's crazy.
Jesus. See, but there is something to
That's
that. though.
robbery without a gun.
It is. But what about the experience? What about the experience and opportunity of college? Because college is expensive and it is a good experience.
But what about your family back at home? They
Making
can't.
millions off that, billions.
I appreciate the college experience. I'm really grateful and thankful to have gotten a scholarship. It's not nothing I take for granted. However, I earned it. I was
Right.
playing for it. Like, you're a student athlete. You can't go to the team and say, I know we got a Nike deal, but those shoes hurt my feet. Can I wear Adidas?
Nope.
You can't go to the coach and say, hey, we got a big exam. Can I not practice today and go study? So you're really an athlete that's a student. And if you hurt your knee, they could take your scholarship.
So do college students need a union, maybe?
That's why the Northwestern football team tried to do this recently. And obviously they got hit with a lot of barriers because anytime you're trying to tap into somebody's pockets, like the NCAA for so long, they were unsuccessful in their try. But it's going to keep happening, and eventually it's going to evolve. The caveman system, they used to give stipends to student athletes for meal money. You see guys doing dumb stuff like stealing laptops and like getting tattoos. Like it's a little meal money when you go to school. Like my mother couldn't pay the bills barely when I was at home.
Right.
I can't send her the bills in college. It doesn't work that way.
And I always feel like it's kind of like the minor leagues. Minor league people get paid to watch it in college.
Correct. But and I've exposed this. In all sports, the only two that have barriers right out of high school are the NFL and the NBA.
You think
No
it's a
other
race
sports.
thing, maybe?
It has an overtone.
That's interesting.
It has an overtone. I'm not saying it's completely that, but if I wanted to play tennis, golf, NASCAR, baseball, you could go right to the minor leagues or the pros in each of those situations. In basketball and football, they want you to go to the minor league system, college. Like Leonard Fournette that plays for LSU. He's an exception to the rule. He should be able to enter the draft.
Absolutely.
Why? He could go to war in this country. Why can't he enter the NFL draft? And he is the exception. In basketball, it's a mockery. Look how many high school players that have been great that came straight out of high school. Kobe Bryant,
LeBron.
Kevin Garnett, LeBron James. There's way too many success stories. Now you're in America. There's going to be some failures. Cats that want to come out and they're not ready. but that's their choice.
That kid from LSU is going to hurt somebody.
He is.
He's too good.
He is.
He needs to go
He
straight
that
to the
deal.
league.
He going to
Yeah.
be Adrian Peterson.
That's how I felt about clowning. You had a good idea in the book, though, about how college kids can make money. Like, you feel like they should get shoe deals early?
Yes. Here's what could happen. So because the NCAA always says, where's the money going to come from?
Right.
Your apparel deal. That's where it comes from. Everybody's wearing shoes, right? Everybody's wearing gear, right? So a percentage of that money should go towards the student athletes. And I'm not just talking about basketball and football. I'm talking about all of them, each athlete on a campus.
Now, let me ask you this, since we're talking about sneaker deals and all of that. Stephon Marbury was recently tweeting about his Starberries. I guess he's bringing them back.
I love Steph. When I showed up at training camp and he had that tattoo in his head, I was like, it's
that
going to be a long
Starberry
year.
tattoo.
Yeah, you played with him with the Knicks, right?
Yeah, I had a shot of espresso with the Knicks. I was here 20 games.
Yeah.
I need that jersey, man. I need that Jalen Rose Knicks jersey. I need that jersey.
Well, he was tweeting about the Jordans and basically saying that it's not right that it costs $5 to make these sneakers and he's selling it to these kids and they're asking their moms for it and it's not fair because it's really expensive and kids are getting killed over these Jordans and he feels like Michael Jordan's being greedy. What do you think about what Stephon Marbury had to say?
I don't think Michael Jordan is being greedy. I disagree with that premise because everything we're wearing was made somewhere else.
I agree.
And we pay more for it.
Word up.
Your shirt, your chain, your gold, your shoes, all of that. And I do appreciate him having a discount sneaker.
Right.
And I
But
do.
the sneakers whack.
People are going to buy what they like. And here's the thing. Think about somebody that's a have-not. If I grew up in the Northwest, on the northwest side of Detroit, if I have on a $15 sneaker, I don't want you guys to know it costs $15.
Right.
I want y'all to think it costs $150.
So Steph needs to shut up and stop telling people it costs $15.
Right. And then what's going to happen? The bullying. Oh, you rocking a $15 sneaker.
Yes.
What you going to say? What you going to do?
I'm going to pull out my gun and kill him.
Right.
So
So
now you're just as bad as the Jordans.
Right. I definitely appreciate what he's doing. And Michael Jordan is the GOAT, but we never accused him of being politically conscious. Remember?
But not only that, nobody ever gets mad at Apple when people get robbed for iPhones
Yes.
and iPads.
He's just in the sneaker business. That's why he's going to Jordan.
Correct. But that's just how it worked. MJ said it best before. He was like, Republicans buy sneakers too. Like, I'm out. Like, whatever y'all doing, y'all doing. Now, I do have a problem with the limited edition stuff that gets put in the hood, the long line at 12 at night to buy 100 pairs of shoes. Like, that has to go.
Right. And that's what I said earlier. I said that when they only put 100 shoes in the hood and you know there's going to be 7,000 people out there, that's effed up.
Yeah, but if people want to rob you, they can rob you anyway. You don't have to be in the hood. Jalen, you had an experience.
Correct.
You
In
almost
Bel
got
Air.
You almost got shot and killed in
Yes.
Bel Air.
Yes.
What
And
happened?
I am not proud of that by any way, shape, or form. So I was out with my homeboy, and we were champagning and campaigning at the Sunset Room. And I was leaving, driving up Sunset, going towards Santa Monica, not paying attention. All my street rules were just off that day.
Out the window that
Yeah,
day.
you know how when you go out, there's certain things got to happen.
Right.
I didn't do none of them. I ain't going to even bore you with the details. So
You was too focused on Lisa Leslie, but that's another story.
no,
right?
but that's actually my friend. She was dating my homeboy
Oh, okay.
at the time. So, no, it wasn't like that. And so I'm driving up Sunset, not paying attention to the red caddy truck that clearly was following me. So we pull up at the light. I'm in a drop-top Bentley. Now, it wasn't my car, okay? It was actually a loaner car that they had given me because I kept having issues trying to put sounds and TVs and stuff in my car. So I glance to my right, and I see the dome light in the car. Dude jumped out the back passenger seat, walks behind the car, walks right up, pulls out a 9.
You see all that and you ain't take off yet.
Well, he had the 9 up, Envy. I mean, you know, and I see smoke coming out his ears and his nose. So I'm like, all right.
What did he say? He's like, break yourself, fool. Get out the car.
He said something, and it was just a blur. And for whatever reason, I thought when he spoke that he relaxed a little bit. That's when I hit the gas. He shot the car. I have the forensic pictures.
Jeez.
Shot the car, not shot at. 9 times.
Hit the car 9
gosh.
times.
He hit
you're
the car.
bugging. You maybe shouldn't have pulled
9
over.
times. One of the bullets, and you know, why do you pay so much for carefully crafted cars and things of that nature? So Bentley, you know, takes pride in the headrest. I never knew this until it saved my friend's life.
Metal in the
The impact for one of the bullets slowed down before it hit my friend in his cheek. And then now, to this day, the bullet's just lodged in his neck. So obviously, I'm freaking out. First, I'm like, wow, I ain't hit. Then I look over and my man bleeding crazy. And I didn't want him to panic. So I'm rubbing his leg, rubbing his back, like, I'm going to get you to the hospital, man. Just please relax. I love you. We're going to get there. I reached down, grabbed the phone, called 911. Please just tell me where the closest hospital is. My dog just got shot. It's important that I get him there, da-da-da-da. So I take the directions that 911 gives me, sends me to a veterinarian.
Oh, because you said my dog.
Because I said
Oh, my
dog.
gosh.
My effing God.
Hey, man, I thought I was going to faint. And then just by the grace, it just seemed like the heavens opened up. I just saw a tall building, and it was a hospital. I bent a couple of – now, this car – now, think about it. This car got shot 9 times.
Yeah.
So it's like a movie. Like, the car smoking, barely able to drive it. Like, it was just crazy. I whip up at the hospital. We get him on the gurney. He gets in there. He goes into surgery. And he's all right to this day.
Now,
Still my dog.
You give more details in the book. You say you was leading actually Lisa Leslie out.
Yep.
So I was thinking, what the hell did Lisa Leslie them do when the gunshots went off?
That's what I want to know. How about that?
She didn't call you and say, are you okay?
But I got to keep it 100. One thing she did do, after I took him into the hospital, I came out, I'm sweating, I'm freaking out. I never smoked a cigarette, but I was about to smoke one that day. She did come to the hospital. And her mom and my mom are friends.
Okay.
And she did something I didn't want her to do. That's call her mom who called my mom. So I was like, no.
Your mom's on that phone, grandma's on that phone.
Oh, man, it was crazy. And I remember just going back to my apartment in Santa Monica, and I'm flicking through the channel. Jalen Rose is shot. I'm like.
Oh, man.
Thank God it wasn't no social media then.
Oh, man.
What year was that?
This was 2003.
And you still don't know who did it?
Still don't know who did
Think
it.
Chris Webber sent somebody?
Shut up, man.
Well, I didn't know he was mad at me then. I guess I should have known. He only seen me 10 times in 10 years. So.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Let's talk about Webber. I understand people grow apart, but I don't see why he's still mad at you to this day. Because you even talk about in the book, you went to talk to him and he told you.
Well, what is he mad about?
Get out your
Explain to
face.
people what he's mad about. They were
I don't
teammates in
know.
college. Now, what is he mad about?
So childhood friends, like we played AAU together since we were 12, 13, 15, 17, 19, wanted to go to high school together, but his mom created a great opportunity for him to go to Country Day, get a good education. We both decided where we were going to Michigan, actually at Ed Martin's house, who you guys have probably heard a lot about through the whole scandal with C-Webb. So I love Ed, and I introduced them to each other. Mm-hmm. So when he started talking crazy about Ed, I didn't appreciate that. Like, here's a guy that was literally putting money in your pocket, that was going to your church, that was giving shoes to your brothers and sisters, like put you on like a godfather. Took us to ACT classes. Like, he was like a mentor for us. And so I didn't like that initially. So when he started disrespecting Ed publicly, he did an interview that was like he was trying to take advantage of me and da-da-da-da-da. I didn't appreciate that. And another thing was I was in the middle because he declared in April, and obviously you don't start getting paid until October. So Ed gave him some money to bridge that period of time. Well, he never paid him back.
Whoa.
Wow.
Okay, so his first deal with Golden State was for $75 million.
You can definitely pay somebody back.
Okay,
Principal
so
alone.
he changed his number and wasn't hitting Ed back.
Wow.
Which put me in a bad spot.
Right.
Because now he calling me like, what's up with your man? Like, you introduced me to this cat and told me he was that deal.
Good people's, right.
And so that initially what started us not seeing totally eye to eye.
Right.
And then other things just started to progress because the four of us, like, we're tight-knitted. When you see the Final Four, we together. When you see the Fab Five, Doc, we all in it. And over 20 years, talk about ride or die, none of us ever in any way, shape, or form disrespected our brother. We never said nothing about him calling timeout. We never said nothing about him lying to the grand jury. We held it. I didn't go back to Michigan for basically 20 years to boycott with him. That's the first time I've said that publicly.
Wow.
I've been to 2 Michigan basketball games since I left. And that was part to represent for him.
Wow.
And as I saw that he didn't have the same love for us, I'm talking about as a collection, the coaching staff. Remember, Steve Fisher lost his job because Chris Webber lied to the grand jury.
Right.
And so when I speak, it's not because I'm personally upset or mad at him. I'm speaking for everyone.
Right.
Like, you a made man. You doing good on TV. You made a lot of bread. You winning. Like, even if you don't mean it, you should apologize.
Right.
If that's going to help preserve the legacy.
Yeah.
So for him not to do that, that's a selfish act. And somebody has to call him on it. And the collection of people that I talk to, they say, Jalen, you got to be the person to do it. So here I am.
And even when you did the 30 for 30, he didn't want to be involved?
I asked him, you think I'm going to pitch a project to ESPN to do a documentary and I work for them if I don't have to buy in from all of the guys?
Right.
He told me he was going to do it. Keith Cleanscale, ask him. Revolt, I see him, big shout. Ask him. We called the dude like, all right, we're going to set up your interview this Friday. What's going on? Start sending us the voicemail. And then he just started avoiding us. It was people, higher-ups from ESPN was calling higher-ups from TNT and Turner. Like, what's going on?
Right.
He just didn't want to do it. And by the way, which is fine. You mentioned it's okay to grow up and grow apart.
Right.
I'm not friends with all my high school teammates and friends in college, but we weren't just alums and teammates. We were brothers.
Right.
Like, you don't break up with family. And so that's more so while I'm talking about it now, because it's been 20 years, and those that know have known for 20 years. Now just the world knows. I know the world don't want to see a group break up.
You sure you ain't smashed one of these chicks in college or something? Like, you sure it ain't a little deeper than just that?
Never, ever, ever, ever.
Yeah.
I was the person, if anything, that was inviting the females to the party.
Gotcha.
I didn't need to do any of that, and he didn't either.
And he's working on his own doc now.
He been working on it for 4 years.
Got you.
Been working on his book for 4 years. And you guys know, it ain't the project, it's where's it going to run.
Right.
I told him, I'm executive producing a doc. All of us are producing it. This is your chance to bury the hatchet. You can say exactly what you want to say. We're going to go in production. We're going to make sure you like the way it looks, the way it sounds. This is your chance to own it as an adult and let it go.
Right.
And for him not to bury it just allows it to simmer, which means that he still hasn't gotten over it fully yet.
Right.
Now, we got to talk about, because everybody, no matter what, anything you do on Twitter, people always come at you with this. Shut up, you got cooked for 81
Correct.
by Kobe Bryant.
Absolutely. He's pretty good at basketball.
But when you read your book, you realize it was deeper. Like, that 81 was personal, because you tried to take Kobe out one
Trying to
time,
sprain his
Jalen.
ankle, man?
I did. Well, I did. Yep. I didn't want him. I didn't want him to get injured. I just wanted him to get hurt.
Okay.
I wanted him to be out that series. He'd be just fine right now with 4 rings, and I have one.
Okay.
Well, he'd be just fine.
Right.
For all the Kobe lovers, he'd be okay with 4 rings.
But they don't usually say, because you was a star player, they don't usually let the star player hurt somebody. They send somebody off the bench to take him out. Why'd you take on that task?
Because me and Reggie was guarding him, and I'm like, we
Okay.
can't stop this dude. And you know, in the park, that's like the old unwritten rule. You can't stick your foot underneath somebody when they go up for a jump shot. So after the game, remember, the media didn't ask me about this. The team, nobody asked me about this. I finally brought it up 15 years later. It wasn't news then because it wasn't social media, and I made it look like an accident.
Oh.
Did he know you was trying to hurt him?
Yeah, because it happened to him.
Okay.
Yeah, he knew.
So, yeah, when we come play Toronto, he put the smack down on us.
But this was years later.
I know, but he's a Hall of Famer.
Why
Did he
not?
ever speak to you about it?
Yeah, we joke about it. I got love for Kobe. I've spoken at his camp before. And this is what I want all of the youngsters out there to know.
Don't try to hurt people.
No,
Especially players that are
no,
really Kobe.
not
Come
that.
back and bust your ass.
okay.
Right. He never said a word that game. Like when you watch sports now, a dude could be down 21 and get a sack and he jump up and doing a sack dance. He didn't say a word. He didn't thump his chest once. He didn't talk trash. And there was no highlights in the game. Like it wasn't no ooh and ah moves.
Yeah.
Like it was just him being 2 times, 3 times, 10 times greater than all of us. And I look at it like this when people joke. How many people can say they outscored Kobe Bryant in the NBA Finals? I can.
That don't matter.
I know it doesn't. hey, but look, but if I score 40 in the game, he should be able to score 81, 82 in the game. He's 2 times better than
Why
me.
you ain't try to
you
hurt
go.
him in the 81-point game, though?
Because
When he got to around 40, you had to like, whoa.
Now that might have been
let's slow
obvious.
this
That
down.
might have been really obvious if you would have did that then.
I just told you why. Because he didn't say anything. Like normally when somebody busting you down, they eventually talk crazy and then you can clothesline them.
Yeah.
Or hard foul him to make the game more ugly. Like, he didn't say anything.
When did you realize he had scored 81?
I realized he scored 81 when he had 41. I'm like, this is getting ugly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This is out of control. Again, he's a really great. He's a terrific player. I call Michael Jordan the original. Kobe Bryant is the remix. So by the way, this shows you how great Wilt Chamberlain is. Because remember, there's somebody else that scored 100.
100, yeah.
Okay, and averaged 50.
That's crazy.
During a season. But yeah, Kobe deserves that love. I have all respect for him.
Now, for you, Jalen, as a member of the media, watching what happened
the
the media, watching what happened between Kevin Durant and Stephen A. Smith
I
recently.
call him Syndrome A. Smith.
Okay.
He acts like Syndrome off The Incredibles, the little villain that was upset that Mr. Incredible hurt his feelings, so then he became a tough bad guy. That's him.
Charlamagne gave him Donkey of the Week earlier.
Yeah, he gave him Donkey of the Week, Donkey of the Day. But in a situation like that where Kevin Durant says that, Stephen A. Smith was lying, and then Stephen A. Smith responded the way that he did and basically kind of went off on him, what do you have to say about something like that?
In this multimedia space, you guys report stuff every day.
Right.
And it stinks when the person calls you out on it. Like, for example, when Drake had a situation with you, Drake is smart enough when he doing his beef with Meek Millie to send the champagne up here. Yeah. And I was rushing today. I was going to bring something to you guys, but I'm gonna send you guys a great gift for having me on. But as a media member, when a former MVP calls you out, that's not a good look. So Stephen, I'm pretty sure, was upset. I watched First Take, and I know he wanted to, roar back at KD. To me, I would have just let it ride.
Word up.
I wouldn't have said anything back because you can't win that battle. Mm-hmm. Like, he's a great player. OKC's a great team. There are going to be people that just don't kiss up to the media. Like, there are going to be some people that's like, hey, Angela, what's going on? Try to kick it with you because they want to come on the Breakfast Club.
Right.
There's going to be some people like, I don't like the Breakfast Club. I don't like what Charlamagne did last week. I don't like what Envy did last year. And KD seems to be one of those people. So, again, it's tough when you work in this space and somebody that notable call you a liar.
Is it okay to report on something if you don't hear it directly from someone, though? I'm sure that happens where you hear it from other sources and just say, I've heard from sources.
Right. I don't. Mm-hmm. And I hate the term unnamed sources because what does that mean? Like,
that's Chris Broussard's favorite
right? Did you see it from somebody on Twitter?
Yeah.
I mean, did you hear it?
That's
like, I don't use unnamed sources. Like, when I say something, it's concrete.
Okay.
You think he got too personal, though? You think he got too personal?
He was personal. Even if Stephen would have came back and just been like, look, I stand by my sources. It is what it is. Time will tell. But the threats, like, you from Detroit.
Right.
He was, like, on some mob boss, like, you don't want it with me.
Yeah. He got on his David Banner. He was on his you wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
Yeah.
That's basically what he did and what he said. It's interesting to see how that's going to play out.
David Banner was the rapper.
Dr. David Bruce Banner. I used to have that as a nickname. Was it on Sky Pager or something?
Oh, yeah,
Two-way pager? Yeah, Skytail. That was my alias.
Don't think he was too personal. He was really talking like he had shooters. Like,
Very
I'm sending
personal.
the shooters to UK.
You can't win that battle when you work on this side. You guys know, like, you want people, even if they don't like what you say, it ain't because it's not true.
Right.
That's two different things. Because the guys get mad at me all of the time because I'm flagrant with what I say.
Yep.
And there were times when I was doing my job, cats be texting me, agents, managers, family members.
Oh, we got that too.
Right. You know what I started doing? I just started sending people the box score. And I just circle, 7 turnovers. You was 2 for 10. What do you expect me to get on live TV and say?
Right.
Like, I'm not your cheerleader or your fan. I'm your peer, and I work in the media.
Now, you and Shaq got at it at one time.
Yeah, we did. I called him a cop, too.
Well, that was true.
Well, that's voluntary cop.
You tell Jalen from the hood. You a cop. 2 multi-millionaire NBA guys. You a cop.
Well, this is why that's important because I love police and I love public service officials. Matter of fact, we should just stop the world on its axis and pay all of them double. Teachers, they do a terrific job. I joked about that because he got a against the law tattoo.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
That's where that came from.
So it's like Ice-T doing Cop Killer but didn't being on Law and Order.
Right.
Correct. And he got mad at me. This is coincidence. He got mad at me for something I said on First Take about him. He was playing for the Cavs. It was 4 teams remaining. And I said, of the 4 teams, he's the worst center. He wouldn't start for any of the other 3 teams, is what I said.
Who was the other 3
He got offended.
Centers that was better than him
Okay.
at the time.
Right.
Okay? And so while I was on the show, he tweeted me like, I'm a lame. I ain't great enough to say nothing about him. I ain't in the position. First off, what people don't realize, all you need is an opinion, a mouth, and a tongue to say something about anybody. Okay, so whatever. And so he took it personal. Now he works on this side. Me and him been squashed it. Our moms are friends, both in the NBA mothers thing. And plus, that dude almost 400 pounds. I don't want no problems with him.
And he's a cop. You don't want no problems with him.
Boom. Exactly. I don't want him kicking my door down. I already been in a raid before. It's not pretty.
Now, Jalen, do you think people ever considered you a racist?
Not at all. I don't think so. I just try to be socially and politically conscious.
All right.
And I try to call it like I see it on both sides. Like, I call us out for dumb things we do, just like you all do as well.
Absolutely.
Like, I didn't know the long shorts was going to turn into seeing underwear. I didn't. I don't want to see your draw.
All right.
You can't work in corporate America like that. It is what it is. So on the other side, when things happen like Black Lives Matter and political topics, like I watch CNN, I watch MSNBC, I watch Fox News, so I'm versed to what's happening in our country, and I speak on it.
Well, they wrapping this up. The book is
Dang,
out.
I got one more.
Let's get it.
Shoot
What do you regret more, not winning the NCAA championship or NBA?
Wow. NCAA.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Because of the expectation.
Because in the NBA, 4 people got all the rings. You want to find championship rings if they play for Red Auerbach, Phil Jackson, Pat Riley, and Coach Pop. Those 4 guys account for over 50% of all NBA rings that have ever been handed out.
And my Knicks still can't get one, man.
Think about it. Shaq played for Phil and Pat Riley.
Yeah.
Kobe's record's been a lot different with Phil than without Phil. Jordan didn't win no chips without Phil.
Magic, Riley.
Magic didn't win none without Riley. These guys are great pioneers and Mount Rushmore type in the NBA. Now, the players still got to get out there and ball and do their thing, but it's always good to have good leadership.
But you say the NCAA because you knew y'all was the better team.
We should have thumped Carolina.
All right.
Like, we really should have. We took them for granted. I give them props, but I will say this. We went to the after party. We was velvet rope. They was waiting in line.
Now, see, that's the other thing
That's the
people
real
say
test.
about
There
you,
you
though.
go.
Jalen. They say you about. They always say like you're more about the money than everything else.
I like that.
He's flashy. He's from Detroit. He's flashy. He like his money, his
I
cars.
remember the comments you made about NBA draft bust, and you was like, "Yo, you're not really a bust if you could buy your mom a house."
You not. If I'm making millions at my job, how can you say that I'm bad at it? Somebody think I'm good, they giving me millions. But how about this? Would you rather be overrated or underpaid?
Overrated. I'll take that money every day, all day.
Okay,
Well, we know that, Envy.
Would you rather
Take that money.
be? Would you rather be Drake winning the rap battle or Meek getting $1 million a week, but taking the L?
What?
Well, I played in Toronto. I got love for Meek. I'm trying to get him to come on our show because Drake already did. In that scenario, period, I'd rather be Drake.
Okay.
Drake's getting millions too, though.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's Jalen Rose. The book. Tell them the name of the book one time, Charlamagne.
Gotta get the people what they want. We could have talked to Jalen for another
Gotta
20
give
minutes.
them what they need.
But the PR's wrapping us
That's
up.
right. You gotta come back up here one time.
I
We got some
appreciate the
more
love.
time, man.
Anytime. I love you guys. Keep up the great work. Y'all holding us down, making us look good, sound good. We need 50 more syndicated cities.
There
for
you
this
go.
show.
Sure.
Thank
Let's
you.
get
There you
it.
go. Talk it into existence. It's Jalen Rose. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.